Hey everyone, Sergio with another video. On the last one, we talked about if there's going to be a crash in 2024. I clearly indicated what I'm thinking about it. I tried to explain as well as I could. Today, I'm going to talk about what indicators I kind of look for if I'm expecting or seeing a possible drawdown. Crash is just too oversimplified and overused as far as I'm concerned. I mean, in the markets as a trader, you have to take what is given to you. And I've come to learn over the many years, over 30 plus years, that what you wish for is usually what's not going to happen. Can't make money by hope and pray. You know, we do hear a lot of people on the internet saying, oh, I made this kind of money, I made that kind of money. You know, I need to see it to believe it. But again, all power to them if they're able to swing it. I do follow simple things. Like I said on the past video, keep it simple, stupid was one of my mentors' advice that I still take it to heart today. Although the tools have changed quite a bit, the speed has absolutely changed, the volatility has changed, but I still look for certain things that I looked 30 years ago. A lot of people may call it antiquated or whatnot, but I'm not shy of talking about those things, and I do believe a lot of traders confuse themselves by drawing too many lines on their charts. But now that I said charts, let's talk a little bit about it. Charts are basically what I call pictures in a million words. Charts don't lie. Charts are line drawings on a blank piece of paper. We all know what they are in other businesses, but in the stock market, charts are pretty simple. It shows a trend. And another piece of advice that I always have taken to heart is the trend is your friend. If there is no trend, you don't need to trade. If there is an established trend, trading with that trend is going to make you a profitable trader. Going against the trend is only for the pros. They're very nimble. It's like myself. I know when to get in, get out. And if I'm wrong, cut my losses short. But with that said, I'm going to show you guys a couple of charts. And in these charts, I am pretty sure most of you don't know anything about something called technical analysis. Technical analysis is the analysis of patterns and chart patterns that have repeated over the past probably 100 years or more. And it happens in nature as well. In nature, we have ebbs and flows. In nature, we have peaks and valleys. In the ocean, you know, we have waves. I mean, look, a lot of these, there's endless information out there when it comes to technical analysis. And do I only look just for technical analysis tools? Not necessarily. I call myself more of a hybrid trader. I do pay attention to what's going on fundamentally, obviously. But if you look at any picture of any stock, if you look at Nvidia, let's say, or Apple, or Google, or Microsoft, you will see a clear trend. And you don't have to buy the lows. You don't have to sell the highs. All you have to do is just catch a trend. And trends do happen. Practically 10,000 stocks that I follow. A lot of people choose to shorten the duration of their trading. These days, they call themselves day traders. I call them stock jockeys. I've tried it. I still do it on a high-frequency trading, proprietary software and a formula, but things are moving so fast these days that the chances of a day trader being successful is pretty much nil. I mean, look, there are some successful day traders. I'm not going to deny it, you know, but about 85% of day traders lose money ultimately. So I do something that your odds are against you from the get-go. But with that said, so please, I announced it on the last video. Please join me and possibly Chris every Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on 1 hour of live stream that I'm going to do right at the market close called Power Hour. The first half hour is going to talk about certain topics and education, and the second half hour is going to be basically Q&A. So without you guys joining the live stream, there is no Q&A. There is no questions I can answer. There is no information I can put out. And again, all these videos are information only. They're not trading or financial advice. I have to say that. However, on this episode or on this video, so used to saying episode, on this video, I want to show a little bit of glimpse of what I look for. So these next two charts that you guys will see on the screen for about 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds each is the daily chart of the triple Qs, as we call it, or NASDAQ 100, and the S&P 500. Each bar equals one single day. Okay, you guys, I'm sure by just looking at it, just like I said, pictures are worth a million words. You guys can already figure out what a trend is, right? There is an existing uptrend. And for the past 2 days, with the most announced or publicized war ever on the planet, we're getting a pullback. Well, pullbacks in uptrends are very, very normal. However, the severity of the pullbacks could depend on many, many, many different factors, which I will discuss on the Power Hour with you guys. However, to simplify things, you guys will also see a yellow line, an orange line, and a light blue line on that graph. Those are things called moving averages. Moving averages basically smooth out the violent moves of the indexes or the daily graphs themselves. I will again discuss all of this with you all on Power Hour and get into more of the details. But the first thing I look for is on a chart, which I call myself a technical trader, is the price making higher highs and higher lows, or is the price making lower lows and higher highs? And if you guys look at the graph of the triple Qs and the S&P 500 going back 2 years, you will see many occasions that is taking place, right? Now, you don't have to trade anything and you don't have to do any of this. All I'm telling you is that there is a possibility that the market has started a correction, as far as I'm concerned. And I mentioned that on the previous video. The correction will depend on the severity of a correction, will depend obviously on many factors. And again, I will discuss those in Power Hour and what I'm thinking about it. But there are many, many, many different ways to trade the move and extend it or not. That will be on the upcoming video. But there's a lot of people thinking, they could only make money when things go up. You buy first, sell next, or you buy low, sell high. Yeah, there is one way, but there is many other ways. But some of the indicators that I look for that mostly, first of all the indicators that most traders look for are lagging indicators. Now, another mentor of mine told me on Wall Street when I first started, said, "Do you have the paper for tomorrow?" I'm like, "No, sir, I don't know why you're asking me." And he said, "Well, that means you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, will you?" I go, "No." And sure enough, that also hit me pretty hard. And I said, okay, so I'm taking an educated guess. Taking an educated guess should not just depend on how the weather is that day or how you're feeling that day. It should depend on some data. It should depend on some past history of what has taken place. And that's when technical analysis comes in. So I will discuss what books for you guys to read. I'm sure you can Google it and find many, many books on technical analysis. Technical analysis is something that has worked for me for the past 30 plus years. Obviously, you have to make sure you understand patterns. You have to make sure you understand what they mean. And I will be definitely sharing a lot of that information with you in the upcoming videos and live streams. So with that said, I'm going to cut this video here short. Join us every Monday and Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern at Power Hour. First half hour, I'll be discussing my opinions on a lot of different subjects and education, obviously, and information. And the next half hour is going to be Q&A, answering questions. Again, not stock advice, not trading advice, information and education only. So looking forward to the first Power Hour coming up next Monday. I think it's going to be a good one. And initially, Chris and I, we don't expect hundreds of people to join us, but I'm pretty sure we're going to build a very solid community here. You know what they say, don't give someone a fish, teach them how to fish, and that's what I'm going to try to do. So you have yourselves a positive trading week, up or down, doesn't really make any difference to a trader. So see you all later.